Welcome into Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. I'm Meghan. Payton. We've got an overreaction video for you guys coming up. But first, if you are not subscribed, subscribe right now. We're going to have Seahawks content for you guys all season long. And I know right now it might not be the most positive content, but either way, if you're a true Seahawks fan, make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss out on anything. Seahawks obviously coming off a really rough loss to the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football last night. We are here to give the reactions to that game, but as you guys know, 13-10, a pretty ugly game overall. Not much offensively happening. You can tell by the score, but defense got sloppy, a lot of penalties, maybe some bad ref calls. That's all discussed in our recap video if you have not seen it. But today is Overreaction Tuesday. This is where we read what's going on, what you guys are saying. We'll give you guys our thoughts, let you know if we think these are proper reactions, overreactions. Unfortunately, right now, where the Seahawks are, it's hard to say that really any of these are overreactions. I have found a couple, though, that are. So we'll get into it. Our first one for this Tuesday is that Geno Smith hope is gone. And I hate to say that it's gone completely, but I mean, he's not Russell Wilson, and that's just the reality. Russell Wilson being one of the most dominant quarterbacks in the league, having him out. Geno Smith's a backup guy. That there's a reason why he wasn't a starter. He's a good backup, but he is not Russell Wilson. In the Saints game last night, he was 12 for 22. He had 167 yards. He only had one touchdown, no interceptions, no fumbles on his part. So that was good. But I mean, I really think that the Seahawks are kind of scared to use him a lot because 22 attempts isn't that many. And I mean, I'd like to think that the reason they kept Geno this week, the reason that he was playing last week is because they're hopeful that Russell Wilson is going to be returning soon. And for me, the timeline for Russ's return is key. This is going to determine a lot about the Seahawks playoff hopes. And I know right now, sitting at 2-5, it's kind of hard to even talk about playoffs, but that's why we're playing football, is to get to the postseason. And we have to talk about the reality. And if they are going to be able to do that, I think it's going to determine on whether or not Russell Wilson is going to be back soon. That right now we're hearing still that the earliest he could be back is that week 10 Packers game. He actually could not come back earlier if he wanted to, being that he is on IR, but I don't even know if he's going to be ready for that. I mean, that's best case scenario. So luckily you have that week 9 bye to let the guys rest. That's a win-win no matter what. You're not losing that game, obviously. But is he going to be back for the Packers game? Because if he's not, this is where I start to get really concerned for Seattle. This is where I'd like to say Geno Smith is a decent backup, but he is not going to lead this team to the playoffs. So Russell Wilson coming back is a major key. So I'm asking you guys right now, how hopeful are you that Russell Wilson is going to return for the week 10 game against the Packers? Type Y for yes if you think he's going to return. Type N for no if not. We just really haven't been given a lot of information. I don't think Russell Wilson knows if he's going to return. So hopefully we get some positive news and we find out that he's going to be back. But unfortunately, this Seahawks team is going to struggle until he returns. But there is a way for you guys to not struggle when you're betting, and that is through BetUS. They are the best sports book if you guys are betting on any sport this season. It doesn't have to be the Seahawks. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use the code Seahawks125. All you got to do is sign up, bet some money. You're going to get a 125% deposit bonus. That means if you put up $100, it's going to turn into 225. That's $125 of free money to bet on whatever you'd like. And if you guys are first-time BetUS members, I've got an even greater deal for you guys. You can rep a Seahawks jersey for free. We are going to send you a Seahawks jersey if you go through these steps that we talked about. That's signing up, using the promo code Seahawks125, deposit the $100 into your account, get the 125% deposit bonus back. Then you just have to bet on any game, any sport, doesn't matter. email jersey@chatsports.com. Once you do this, we will send you guys a free jersey. You've got two options. You can get your Russell Wilson jersey in honor of him hopefully coming back, or you can get a DK Metcalf jersey in honor of your favorite receiver. Different options here. Great deal all around. So do not miss out on this. Chatsports.com/bet. Next overreaction we have for you guys is Jason Myers is to blame for this loss. And I told you it'd be hard to find some overreactions for this game, but this actually is one of them for me. I don't blame Jason Myers. And would we like to see him make those field goals? Yes, but he is not to blame for the loss, not in the slightest. It was a 50-yard field goal that he missed first, and then it was a 53-yard field goal that he missed. And to me, I mean, you guys saw the weather out there. It was crazy wind. It was bad rain. You do not want your team to be in a position where they have to rely on Jason Myers to make those 50-yard field goals, 50-plus field goals. So I don't put blame on Jason Myers. He is a good kicker. I think maybe some anger that I'm seeing from you guys on Jason Myers might be coming from some field goals that he has missed earlier this season that were more to blame. But guys, a 50-yard field goal, a 53-yard field goal in the rain, in the wind, it is not his fault. I blame the offense, but maybe you guys think differently. I think some of you do. Go to the comments right now. Let me know if you are blaming Jason Myers. Type 1 for yes or type 2 for no. 2, no, it is not Jason Myers' fault. Obviously, we'd like to see it, but the offense is ultimately what led them to be in that position in the first place. All right, next overreaction we have is that the Seahawks season is over. Guys, I don't know. I want to say it's an overreaction because, yes, we are only going into week 8. So it's not over, but I really am concerned. And I'll say that I want to be completely transparent with you guys and say it's a struggling situation right now for the Seahawks, and it's not helping them that they are in one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL right now. The only undefeated team in the NFC is the Arizona Cardinals, 7-0. The Los Angeles Rams not far behind, 6-1. The 49ers, 2-4. Seahawks now 2-5. So it's bad. 2-5 is not where you want to be. We can talk about it a million different ways. We can point out good things, but things have to change if the Seahawks want a chance in the playoffs. I think that the NFC West is very competitive, and take away the NFC West, just getting a wild card spot is going to be tricky because people are winning games. You have to win. I'm going to say you need to win at least 10 or 11 games in order to have a chance. So you look at these next 5 weeks for the Seahawks. The Jaguar game, now this is where we are most likely obviously going to be seeing Geno Smith unless Seattle decides to bring in another guy, which I don't see them doing unless we get a different status on Russell Wilson where he's not going to be back sooner. Then they get the bye. Hopefully that's a big regroup for everyone. Then this big game, the Packers in Green Bay, hoping Russell is back for this. Then you take on the Cardinals. So 2 really, really challenging games back to back. Washington has been kind of iffy, so I think the Seahawks can win this game, especially if Russell Wilson is back. But it's not getting easier for Seattle, to say the least. That's just the reality of the situation. So I am concerned, but I'm not going to say that it's completely over yet. Last overreaction we have for you on this Tuesday is that the Seahawks should start Tre Brown. And for as bad as the Seahawks may have looked on Monday night, I'll give credit to Tre Brown. I'll even give credit to Sidney Jones. I think the coverage was decent. And so I'd say I'd like Brown to start. And I know that he's a rookie, and I know that sometimes it can be challenging to put your trust in someone like him. To me, he's shown up. He's done what he's needed to do. You look at him compared to Sidney Jones, and these stats are, you can't really compare with these stats because obviously Sidney Jones has had a lot more playing time in 2021, but already Tre Brown has had 0 tackles for loss, but he is doing pretty well. I think he's covering decent. I'm not saying that he's going to be the top corner in the league, but I'd like the Seahawks to continue using him. It is very surprising, though, to say that Pete Carroll has been shuffling back and forth between them. That is not normally like Carroll, but I think it's been helpful to get Tre Brown some more time to play and also kind of compared the two. I like Tre Brown as the starter, but who do you guys want to start? Type J for Jones, type B for Brown. I think that Pete Carroll might stick with this rotation for a little bit. I mean, honestly, they didn't do terrible covering. I mean, we didn't see a lot of connection from the Saints with Jameis deep shots. They did a great job covering guys like Geno Smith. They covered Marquez Callaway. There was obviously some missed tackles there, but I'm going to give them some credit there. I'm going B for Brown. Now, guys, we've got a lot of trade rumors that are going to be coming up this week as the deadline approaches November 2nd. So make sure you are subscribed to our channel so you do not miss out on any of the fun trade stuff. Hopefully the Seahawks are going to bring in some guys that can help them have a better chance at making the playoffs. If you are not subscribed, press that big red button and make sure you are.